Right now. Right now.
What's going on? This is Right Now with J Rock and KJ.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys hopping in with us. As we go ahead and sit down with Blue Hammer Roofing, the CEOs of Blue Hammer Roofing. We got Mr. Nehal and Chico.
There you go. Hey, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate y'all hopping on with us again.
Man, it's great to be back. It's great to be back.
For me, it's an honor. Thank you so much, JC, for the invite. I do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we missed you the first time around and knew we had to make sure we get you.
For sure. Yeah. We need to bring the energy today.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
Let's do it.
That's only because we didn't invite him the first time. It's not that we missed him, we just didn't have an invite, but it's all good.
Yeah. He's ready now.
Oh, we're ready.
We're super ready. Look at him. Got swollen everything, man.
Hey, only for this show, man. I've been working out 7 days a week. Only for these podcasts. So you know what's up.
Before we get started, when you pulled up, I was like, oh man, I felt like Devo right here, man. We got to do a lot of editing, man. A lot of editing where that light shining over here off your neck. It's some rings, man. So your watch, I mean, man, like it's just, you got to do a lot of editing on your side.
Everything's fake, bro. But we got to look good for the podcast, so just throw on some light.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, some light.
So let's go ahead and get the show started, man. I know you guys got a lot of people watching. Again, make sure you guys go to the page, bluehammerroofing.com. And tell everybody how they can find you on Instagram and everything as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So mine at Kaiser, my last name Kaiser, first name Nehal. Kaiser, Kaiser, That's how you can find me.
All right.
I'm good. We'll just go based on that. Hey, he's the one with the followers, man.
Yeah, he's the one. Huh?
He is the one. I'm the brain of the team. I'm the heart of the team.
Heart.
The heart.
That's definitely the heart of the team. I definitely ain't the brain, but that's definitely the heart, though.
Gotcha. That's fun. He's the heart. He's the heart.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, you worked with this dude before.
Yeah.
The energy that he brings, the passion, the excitement. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell a long story with you guys. It has nothing to do with what we were probably going to talk about. But before he was going to get promoted, right? I got to share this story, bro. I'm sorry. Before he was going to get promoted at our previous endeavor where we were all together, right? My boss came up to me and he was here from out of town and he was like, "Hey, man, like, are the guys going to understand him?" And I was like, you know what? I said, they may not fully understand him, but man, they're going to feel him. And he was like, you know what? 100%. And obviously a lot's changed since then. His English is phenomenal and that boy's been working on it and he's been killing the game. So I'm blessed to have him as a partner in the business. So and as a best friend. So
he brings that passion to no matter what it is that he's doing. I mean, if he's behind it, you'll know.
And you see, I'm gonna have to tell you this, man. Something I used to tell my guys back in the day. I used to tell them, look, as long as you can understand 50% of what I have to say, you're going to be successful in life.
Yeah.
If you understand 100% of what I have to say, I'm going to blow your mind. So that's why I have the accent. Woo!
That's why you had it. That's why.
And you see, I've known you, man, for like, 6 to 8 years at least.
Oh, yeah, at least.
And, man, and I haven't seen you in like at least 4.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, like, I don't know if this is a little bit too personal to share, man.
No, absolutely. That's what we're wild.
But man, like last time I seen you was actually with Nehal and I think it was Ronnie and someone else.
Yeah.
Man, I seen you like on your lows, bro, and like to see you right now, like everything that you've accomplished so far, man. I'm so proud of you, bro.
I appreciate it.
Good job. Share your testimony with as many people as you can, man, because you're gonna impact a lot of people's lives.
I appreciate it.
I gotta say that.
I appreciate it.
Good stuff, brother.
I appreciate it 100%, man. I really do.
Respect.
I really do. Yeah, I appreciate it 100%. But let's go ahead and dive in a little bit, man. Real quick, what it is that Blue Hammer Roofing is. Then we can get on to these topics that we know that we're going to hear a lot about.
Man, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that one. So we're Blue Hammer Roofing and Solar. So just like how it sounds, we do roofing and we do solar. But really at the end of the day, man, we're in the people business, right? Roofing and solar just happens to be the vehicle. Roofing, obviously, we're replacing roofs. We're helping with repairs, whatever we can do to service our community. And then solar, which is the future by far, which I know you guys are aware of because you guys are smart tech dudes and all the rest of it. So that's just something that we absolutely positively had to do. And I want to say on our last time I was here, I had maybe touched on it just like a tad bit, but it was like early days. Yeah. So it ain't early days no more, brother. Yeah. We're locked and loaded. Yeah. We're locked and loaded, man. But yeah, we're in the people business, man, whether it's taking care of our people or we're taking care of our customers and making sure we just take care of everyone around us. That's what Blue Hammer is.
All right, there you go. Blue Hammer, roof. That's what this episode is going to be brought to you by as well. So make sure you go to Neil's page and you follow everything they have going on. Go to the website, bluehammerroofing.com.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and dive right into it, Chico. I know you have a lot of things that you well, a couple
Man, I actually want to share some amazing things. Before I do that, once again, Christian, everyone knows me as Chico Jimenez. I don't even know why they call me Chico. I'm a 5'6" dude. And I mean, I don't understand still. Anyways, 5 owners in the company. I've been blessed to be one of them. Neil Kaiser, Maria Wayne. Jerome, you worked with Maria in the past.
Oh, yeah.
You know that little girls. Yeah, she's a beast.
Yeah. And
you haven't met the other two guys, which are like family to us. Miguel Taveras and Freddie Murphy. If you guys are watching, thank you so much. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure working together so far. I gotta tell you this, man. Something that we brought to the table as a company is to try to add as much value as we can into people's lives. And to do that, something that we're doing in this case, on a weekly basis is share books that we read. And one of the books that we read, like not that long ago, I would say like 6 to 8 months ago, was The Alchemist. And I know that Neil is a great storyteller, and he can do like a quick summary of the book. And I want to share a couple of things, but I want to share like some real stuff, how that part works.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give like a very quick summary of the book. I think the beautiful thing is this. We don't really read nonfiction books in there. We read more developmental, leadership, and all the rest of it. But I do believe, if you're working a certain part of the brain so much, it's good to maybe put that imaginary side back in as well, right? So you don't lose your creativity and you're exploring a different part of the brain. So we chose to do The Alchemist as a team, and it's a nonfiction book. And it's a fiction book. And the thought process behind The Alchemist is about a young boy who wants to go travel the world. And if you haven't read the book, I'm sorry, I'm going to ruin it for you, but I'm just going to kind of give you my interpretation. But I think it's open to many of your interpretations. It's about a young boy who goes and seeks these treasures all around the world. And he gets a lot of omens along the way and a lot of signs and a lot of people. And I know Chico really wants to dive in on that. And the coolest thing about this book, at least my interpretation, is this. He travels the whole world just to come right back where we all started. And I think there's a very deep message in there, and that's to tell us that all the answers we're looking for, all the riches we're looking for are already right there in front of us. Because a lot of times we're always looking out the window, right? Like we're looking at that person's relationship or that situation right there or that career path there, and it's like, no. It's right there. Just, what's that old saying? The grass is green where you water it, right? Yeah. So it's like, and that to me at least is my takeaway. There may be some other people reading and be like, that's absolutely not what it is, but that's my takeaway from it.
He's 100% right about that. I gotta say this, man, on this little trip that this little kid Santiago is gonna take, it's kind of like having a GPS, right? What he did is he needed to go from point A to point C, and he needed to find himself, and on the way he saw like so many signs, right? To me, that's exactly the way that I live my life. And that's the reason why I feel like, man, like I got to know myself at that deep level. But there's something that we call a gut feeling. G-U-T. What I call them is a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
G-O-D. That's my interpretation on it. Because it's something that you feel over here inside. And it's exactly the same as I was telling you with a GPS, right? Like, even if you know the directions, you still need to see the signs.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, if it's going to be like, hey, you got to exit on Lamar Road. Yeah, you got to see the signs. So this is Lamar Road, and this is where I need to exit. And to me, that's life. As long as you know yourself really well, then you're going to know which ones are going to be your omens or your signs in order for you to move. And that's the way exactly what I move. And that's the way like I make my decisions. I need to have peace. I need to go with my gut feeling. And I need to see signs. And I want to share some deep, like super deep and experience that I encountered. One of them, this was like, man, I'm from Peru. Right? Which is in South America, a third world country. And I gotta tell you, man, like over there, middle class person over here, For Peru, it's a rich person, basically. Lower class person over here, over there is a middle class. So low class over there, man, it's like low.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like poverty, right? Like some people, they don't eat for days and the rest of it. So I was part of that group. And once again, man, like this one is going to be super deep. And this is what I feel like me and him were so connected. So I remember, man, when I was like probably, I'll say 4 years, I come from a dysfunctional family. It's only my mom, my sister, which is 1.5 years older than me. And that's pretty much it. So growing up, it was a little bit tough. Situations happen. It's part of life. And that's what like I'm as strong as it gets. But like growing up, we live in a house that pretty much we didn't have a roof. And on that back section of the house, what my mom tried to do is like, man, you can see like wood on top of that roof. Like you can see a little bit of carpet, like a little bit of everything to kind of just make sure like water doesn't come in, right? And one of the memories that I have, man, and this is super deep, it's we used to have a dog, right? And this dog, it was a German Shepherd. And over there, man, back in my country, you don't have a dog to like kind of like be a company to you, or like you don't have a dog so you can protect them. It's the other way around.
Yeah.
You have a dog so they can protect you and they can protect the house. Bottom line. And man, like this was a big aggressive dog. I'm talking about the real deal. So my mom, like at that point, she has, she got schizophrenia, and on top of that, she got cancer, and she was a single mom. She struggled a lot. And I remember, man, she would leave in the house every day, like around 8 o'clock in the morning, and she wouldn't come back like until like 9 p.m. Right? So all day for like at least 12 to 24 months, it was only my sister, myself, and the dog. And man, like I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people trying to get inside the house, but they couldn't because the dog was there to like really like defend us. Right? So that was my dude. Like that was, to a certain extent, that was my best friend, right? So man, we went through so many things with that dog. I think I was separated from the family when I was like probably like 5.5 or so. I needed to go and live with a different family. We were struggling a lot. She couldn't make it, and the rest of it. And that part of my life, it was a little bit tough because I needed to be separated from my dog. And this is the part that is going to blow your mind. And this is the part where I feel like there's omens. And this is the part where I feel like there's signs, right? Like, what's the dog's name? Just guess.
Chico.
No, absolutely not. Man, the name of the dog was Kaiser.
Kaiser.
How crazy?
That's
How
insane.
crazy is that?
That shit gives you chills.
Bro, like,
That's insane.
Bro, like, that's a real deal.
And that translates to Big Daddy. So believe it's not a great story.
Look, man, like, when I'm saying, like, that dog was aggressive as it gets, like, bro, like, that's me all day.
100%.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about that dog that had my back so many times, like, that's that dude right there. When that dog became my best friend, believe it or not, he became my best friend. You know what I mean? So when I met Neil, the first encounter wasn't the best, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And he knows that. Like,
It never is.
No, it wasn't really the best. I remember calling Neil like a couple of times because everyone told me, man, like, that's a real deal. And I wanted to learn. I was doing the business and I was like, man, you know what? I want to learn. And he wouldn't pick up, and then he was gone. I think he went to, where was it? Arkansas. Yeah.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
There you
Beautiful, beautiful place.
go. It's not. Anyways, I hope nobody from there, but if you are, it's a beautiful place. Yeah.
Nah, if you're from Little Rock, you know Little Rock.
Yeah, you know. Come on.
If you live out there, you know what it is.
Oh, man. And JC and my boy, I gotta tell you, man, I didn't even know that his last name was Kaiser. I met him, wasn't the first impressions, but over time, man, we became so close. And I'm talking about like really close. When I find out that his last name was Kaiser, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna do great things with this dude. And I remember like working out with Neil. I was a GM back in the day. He was a VP already in the fitness industry. And I remember Neil telling me, man, like, you're gonna become a VP. And one day we're gonna be eating like a really nice restaurant together. And I think it was 12 months later, like, it happened.
Oh, yeah.
And then I remember being a VPs together. working out again. And one day, I think we're in Las Colinas, I would say, we started talking about business. And in my head, I was like, I have peace, man. Like, that's Kaiser. That's a dog right there. You know, so not like D-O-G. This is a dog like D-A-W-G. Yeah, there you go. A Z-Fo, there you go.
Yeah.
And then, like, I knew that we have to do something together because it was meant to be. You know what I mean? So that's what, like, when I'm talking about signs, man, and when I'm talking about omens, that's what I mean. But in order for you to understand that, man, you gotta chill sometimes a little bit. You gotta take the reflection time every day, even if it's for 30 minutes, so you can get to know yourself at a deep level. So whenever you have those gut feelings that it's exactly like over here, you know exactly how to move.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to overcomplicate things. If there's a big decision to make, for me now it's easy. I go based on my gut feeling.
Gotcha.
My gut feeling is telling me, man, like, that's the dude. Having the confirmation. Last name Kaiser. He's a dog. Like, I'm like, yeah.
There
Like,
it is.
I gotta make it happen.
It's meant to be.
Absolutely.
That God feeling.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Gut feeling.
Absolutely.
Pretty deep, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's deep. Yeah.
That's insane.
That's insane.
How'd you feel the first time you heard that story?
Bro, I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. I was like, come on, you're lying to me, G. I know you're trying to go into business with me. I know what you're doing. I said, that's smooth, though. I was like, you gotta respect the game, right? You gotta respect the game. But, I say that obviously jokingly because if you know him, there's no lying, there's no bullshit, there's none of that. It's just like, it's about as real and straightforward as it gets. And those are the people that I connect with the most. That's why I've always connected with you in the time I've known you, is the people who are just straight on, because that's how I prefer to be. And I don't know how to be any other way.
Right.
So, yeah, one, I was mind blown. And then two, I was just like, yeah. My first thought was that. It was like, damn, yeah, maybe some shit is meant to be here. Because I believe in that too.
Yeah.
I believe in that 100%. If I gave you my life story and how I ended up where I'm at today, and the people that came in my life that literally were there to come in my life to take me from here to there, and then they bounced and they left my life, and then I took that, you wouldn't believe it. It's just the wildest stories. But again, like he said, if you don't study your life and you don't have gratitude for these situations, you'll never see it. You'll just think it's all coincidence.
Yeah.
It ain't all coincidence.
Oh, there's absolutely not. Man, I got another one, bro. Like, I don't know how much time we're gonna have, man, but
We got all the time in the world, but before you start,
go ahead.
let's take a quick break. Right?
Let's do
Take
it.
a quick break here for our sponsor, Anchor, real quick, and then we'll be right back to the show with Blue Hammer. Appreciate you guys.
Beautiful.
All right, that was Anchor by Spotify, the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor.fm or whatever.
What?
Right? Anchor.fm. Sign up. Go ahead and get a podcast started. No, we can't wait to hear your podcast.
There
Once
you
again,
Best way to make a podcast.
best way to make a podcast. Once again, we're sitting here with Blue Hammer Roofing. We got Nehal, Kaiser, Big Chico in the house.
Let's go. Let's go.
So before we went to commercial, Chico, you say you had another story to tell.
I have a lot of stories, man, but I don't want to take all night telling my stories.
Hey,
Y'all the one that got to drive back to Texas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all out here in Oklahoma for the most part, right?
there's Border Patrol coming up here, man. Yeah, I drive like 5 hours, man. I was getting worried. I thought I was going to Mexico. I was ready. Man. Anyways, man, as we were talking about omens and signs and the rest of it and the way like I like to move, and hopefully that's the way like everyone likes to move. I have a recent story, and this is a little bit too personal, but man, I would love to share this.
Well, share it away.
share away.
Let's do it. So it was actually last Thursday. I needed to go to Austin. We have different offices. We've been so blessed in the business. And I need to go to Austin. I need to check up on my guys and make sure like everything is good, help them out on whatever I could and the rest of it. So I went to work out really early in the morning on Thursday. As you can see, I love to work out. Yeah. I'm becoming a tool.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I'm just kidding. I love to work out, man. I love to take care of myself, mostly because of mental health.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was working out like super early. I did legs. I was like super relaxed. I leave the gym, ready to drive to Austin. And man, like walking to my car, I see that there's a big hit in the front of the car, in the hood, right? By the way, if whoever did that to my car is listening, please, like, let's have some respect and leave a business card. I didn't know who it was,
It was me.
Oh, that's what it was.
Sorry.
But man, like you
That's
can
why he
see.
need a business card. You can't-
You already know where to find me. I'm right here. But man, you can see like a big hit in front of my car, man. I consider the hood to be the head, right? And it's pretty deep, which, it really sucks anyways. But I was feeling weird that day, but I was like, you know what? I'll deal with that whenever I come back because I have a lot to do in Austin. So I took off. I started driving. Man, I wasn't feeling good. And I'm not talking about physically. I don't know exactly what was happening, but I started feeling, I don't know. I'm pretty secure about myself, but I started feeling anxiety a little bit.
Okay.
I got to Austin. I see the guys, now there's like a go time. We start hustling, we start grinding, I still door knock with the guys. I still like on the field with the guys whenever I can. So we're working. It was probably 6 or 7. We had a good date. We had a nice lunch, by the way, as well. Man, it was 6 or 7. I was driving back to the place where I was going to stay. And man, I started freaking out. I started panicking. I used to suffer from depression and anxiety for so many years back in the days. So I didn't have an episode like that in years. And it was weird, man, really weird. I started sweating. And I was like, man, something is going on. Something is off. So I called my son. My connection with my son is just, it's as real as it gets. That kid is just he's special. So he's 4 years old. My daughter Mia, she's about to be 2. And man, I call him, I do a FaceTime with him. And I think he was playing on the mama's phone. And I was like, hey bro, are you okay? And he said, yeah, daddy, I'm good. I'm just playing, watching video games, whatever the case might be. I said, okay, cool, man. Anything you need, just let me know. He said, okay, cool. The call, I think, lasted probably 2 minutes. Usually we don't have those calls. We have a good time whenever we like to talk. Whenever I'm not here in Dallas, we talk for 30 minutes. But it was really short. And I was like, okay, cool. So I still driving, to the place where I was going to stay. But man, I felt better. But it's still something inside, the gut feeling, man. Something was telling me, man, something is about to happen or something is wrong. Right, so I parked at a gas station because man, I was sweating, and I was feeling a little bit worried. But I was like, you know what, I gotta chill for a little bit. So I parked there. One of the guys calls me. We're trying to set up what's gonna be the game plan for the next day. I prepared something really nice with the guys. I was like, man, we're gonna go out. We're gonna do this. We're gonna have a dinner or something along those lines, and we're gonna work during the day. And then I see that there's a FaceTime call. And I got excited, right? I was like, oh, that's my son. So probably he already stopped playing. That was probably an hour after I had the first call. And man, they call me and I can only see my son on the floor. And the mom was freaking out. And I said, are you okay? Is everything okay? And she was I think she was pretty much crying. She was freaking out. So she had me on one hand and I said, where's Mateo? And I can hear Mateo screaming. And I said, let me see my son. What's going on? And she was he fell off. And I said, well, what do you mean? Let me see him. And he was bleeding, bleeding. So I think it was from the couch on the corner. He fell off, and we have a table on the corner. And then man, that's a glass table, and he hit the head exactly on the corner. And he got a deep, I can see that fat on the head. So I knew okay, yeah, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, super bad. So at that point I was like, you know what? I can drive back right now, but I can't do that. I just gotta figure it out first. So I tell her, hey, give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna call you back. Let me figure it out. If not, I'm gonna call 911 and then we'll be fine. Right? So I did what I have to do. We find some help. By the way, thank you so much. You know who you are. If you're watching, I do appreciate that. These people, they drove in 5 minutes. They were taking him to the hospital, emergency. Let's go. I talked to the doctor. Everything was better. He told me, yeah, we have to put stitches on his head. It was pretty deep. And I said, okay, cool. As long as he's fine, we're good. Bro, that next day, I just couldn't stay. I needed to come back. So next day in the morning, I was back. I see him. I hug him. And man, all the anxiety that I have, gone. So bro, and that's super personal, but I gotta tell you, man, when I'm telling you about signs and gut feelings, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
right? Like I felt it, bro. Like
You knew something.
For
Something was
sure.
off. You knew something was off.
But look at this, right? Like I don't believe in coincidence, like Neo was saying, right? So what happened to my car? Like in the head of my car, the head, which is pretty deep. Crazy, bro. It's exactly what happened to my son. That's bro, like that's a real deal, man. I don't know what to tell you on that, but bro, like those things are not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's that God feeling, gut
That's
feeling.
a God feeling, brother.
Yeah.
That's what it is, the God
Did
feeling.
you find the moving truck that dropped the couch on top of your car though?
He's having a look at the back of my truck yet. But,
I don't know if I got the joke. The head hit the couch. Okay, we're all together.
Bro,
We're
it's,
all together.
bro, I'm telling you,
he
man.
missed it. Okay.
I got you. All right, cool.
Bro, it's crazy. Like those things as real as it gets.
Oh yeah.
You know, and with that being said, man, like every decision, once again, that I ever make, I feel so secure about like making them because you feel good over here inside. You know, and that's what I highly recommend to everyone. Like if you get to know yourself, like your soul, your spirit, like at that deep level, man, bro, like you know exactly where you need to go.
Yeah.
You know, to me, like God is my GPS. And Big Daddy will tell me, hey, like this is what you gotta do in life. You're gonna move from here. These are the exits, and this is the final point. And there's gonna be a lot of checkpoints in between. Right. But every time I'm gonna tell you, hey, this is where you gotta stop, or this is where you gotta exit, man. Like you gotta be able to pay attention. So you can do the things the right way. It wasn't like that in the past for me. I made so many mistakes. Thank God for that. But I learned from it. And from the moment that I got to know myself like really well at the deep level, yeah, like I can share these kind of stories.
Yeah.
And it feels great, man. And for everyone that is listening, I'm not gonna tell you that it's for you, it's gonna be exactly the same thing that it happens to me. Like for me, like signs and omens comes in different forms and shapes. Right? It could be like through an advice from a friend. It could be through something that you're reading. Like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
In every person, it works differently.
Oh yeah. I had a God feeling. You know, I had put this watch on. I was like, something told me not to wear this watch. Something told
nice.
me.
I see that. I was like, yo, it's nice, JC.
Something told me to keep the Apple Watch on.
Yeah, that's a nice watch, AC.
But yeah, so, you know, as real what you're saying though, you know, find out who you are, because the moment that you really dive deep into who you are, the improvement of yourself will come with that also.
1000%.
You know, that's kind of based off of what the book said and what you're saying as well. You know, find out who you are, do soul searching, find out exactly what it is that you're supposed to do. Because you don't have to, like you said, it's typically 9 out of 10 times you see it every morning when you brush your teeth. You see it when you're washing your face. It's there. It's just right in front of you.
It is, bro.
Yeah.
It is. But you gotta like pay attention to it. You know, and in order for you to pay attention to it, like you have to free up your brain. Sometimes we're so busy, man, like moving from here to there, and like we just
You got to be still.
bro, yeah.
That's what the words say too.
That's exactly right, bro. That's
Right.
exactly right.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Be still.
That's 100% accurate. And you gotta do that, like not really in your dark moments, but in your lonely moments, like whenever you're alone. And that's what I practice a lot, like 30 minutes at least every day. I like to read a little bit before I go to bed, but I like to reflect. You know, that has helped me so much because I get to know myself really well.
Yeah. Self-reflect is huge. I mean, I remember you touched on self-reflect and all that, you know, the first time you were on the show. So I know you're a big believer in, you know, self-reflect also.
Yeah, I think it's an old Bruce Lee quote, and he says, you know, before you can learn others, you must learn yourself first. And once you've got a good, deep understanding of yourself, everyone else is actually pretty easy to understand because you're probably more complex than anything else, right? Because you know your deepest fears, you know your deepest insecurities, you know your traumas. Everything else becomes easy to understand.
Yeah, for sure.
Big believer.
Absolutely. 100% got to be. When you guys decided to make that leap and make that jump, you know, I know you discussed on it, didn't get a chance to have you, you know, at the time. So what was it like, you know, because you didn't have any kids. Did you have, you had just had Mateo, right?
He was only a year old.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna tell you what was the sign on that particular situation, man. Besides Neil, because that's Kaiser, right?
The
So
dog.
for me, it was easy, like to go in business with my dog.
Yeah.
In this case, yeah, DOG.
yeah.
Going business with Neil, it was easy, right? Because I knew, like, yeah, Like I don't have to think about nothing in this case. But going in business with more people, that was the challenging part, especially for me. But this is what I really feel like it was meant to be. We were struggling a little bit on the first roofing company that we put together. The reason why, not so much on the front end, man, like we're grinders, we work really hard. We're kind of the people that will do whatever it takes to make it happen legally, right? But man, like we were struggling on the back end. And we owned a lot of money at that point. We didn't have any credits. We were paying the subs. We were paying for materials, our own package. And it was this dude, Nehal knew this dude that was actually doing roofing already, Freddie Murphy, which is one of our business partners. And this dude wanted to help Nehal without asking anything in return. And bro, like that to me, that gave me peace. That to me was a sign that, you know what? You gotta do in business with these guys. And then I met Miguel, which is an amazing, amazing dude, a husband, dad. Yeah, and Lini, I mean, you already know Lini. Lini worked with us for a little bit, and I know that she's a machine, and I know that she's a grinder, and she will make it happen. So I felt really good after that situation. So that was a sign right there. Like if someone has like core principles that you do, and they're willing to help you without like requesting or asking anything in return, man, like that's my people. Because I'm exactly the same way. I'll help you. I don't care if you pay me. I don't care if you don't pay me. I don't care. Like if someone needs help, man, it's my duty to help them. And that was them to us. And that's what I felt like, you know what? There's synergy. You know, we get along really well. Let's do this. And the rest is history, man. Like when I'm saying like we've been blessed, we've been in business. We're about to be in business 3 years. And man, I don't want to share numbers. I don't want to do none of that. But man, like, I've seen how many people are really making money, and I'm talking about my guys. And that to me, it's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is an amazing deal, man. We're changing people's lives in a good way.
Oh, yeah. You know, I can tell your life's changed when you start wearing athletic gear, right?
Like when you start using a big hat, you know that you got a lot of it.
Yeah. When I saw your heart beating through the t-shirt, I was like, yeah, they making the good money.
Oh, man. You know what's crazy? Last time I showed up, I was actually in a suit similar to that color. It was like a greenish suit. Yeah. I was just.
It was tight too.
I saw that episode, man.
It's not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
It was tight too.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I really didn't know. And yeah, today.
You didn't see the episode.
Oh, I didn't. Actually, I didn't.
Oh, damn! You told me you did.
Man,
It was similar, but it was also tight. It was also very snug.
It looks better on me though. Yeah.
Heartbeat was.
I look better though, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the fitness industry, man. Come on.
No, yeah.
We got to keep it tight. You got to keep it right.
Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely. But when you guys now 3 years strong, what I saw a post that you had made about goals, what happened in 2022, what you want for 2023. Where does that? What makes you not only come up with that but want to share it as well?
Man, look, that post got a lot of attention. It got a lot of traction. A lot of people shared it. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people commented on it. And you know what that told me is that maybe some of us aren't spending enough time there. Maybe some of us, I think one of the biggest problems today is you look at like social media and what it is, right? TikTok, Instagram, everything's reels, everything's 30 seconds, everything a minute. Our attention span is absolutely a disaster. Right. So when you ask people, and I made it a task for all of our team where it's like, just spend some time with yourself, because the first thing we do, right, when we're bored, where's that phone at? Let me start scrolling.
Yeah.
Or let me call somebody. Let me go do this. Let me go do that. And it's only because we don't want to deal with our own problems. And we find refuge in our phone and dealing with other people and making pointless phone calls sometimes, or sometimes doing busy work, because we don't want to spend that time with ourselves.
Yeah.
That's just the sad truth. So I think it's imperative that we do a true deep dive into the things that we, maybe did right, and we should reward ourselves and we should be proud of ourselves. And then at the same token, we got to be straightforward and honest with ourselves. And hey, this is what I did wrong this year. I got things on my list. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. All of us, right? And then it's like, okay, I did great here. Yeah, I definitely messed up here. And then come the new year, and it doesn't have to be a new year. It could be a new month. It could be a new week. these are the new habits I want to develop.
Yeah.
And these are the habits I need to drop because this shit ain't serving me, man. Because of this, I've actually went backwards. And that's not a good look because no one's in this thing to go backwards. Yeah. Right. So it's just, we got to spend some time with ourselves, man. We spend too much time with everyone else.
100%. 100%. I was actually sharing this with Nehal the other day. We were eating and I was telling him I received a call from a pretty good friend of mine. Has his own business. He's struggling a lot. And he was telling me, man, like, hey, bro, like, I know you're a beast when it comes to connecting with people. And he was joking around. He said, man, I don't even understand how because you don't even speak the language. We were laughing and we're like, yeah, man, I'll show you. And he was telling me, man, I cannot connect with these dudes. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I got a simple question for him. I asked him, hey, what are their strengths and their weaknesses? And he started thinking like, I mean, yeah, like I kind of know. I said, no, like, let's start off with yours. Like, what are your strengths? Would you say like the top 3? Just give me top 3 strengths and weaknesses. And he said, man, like, I mean, I have a business. I said, oh, bro, like that doesn't count. I said, it could lead you to find what is one of your strengths, but that's not it. And I said, look, bro, who do you spend the most amount of time with? And he was telling me my wife. I said, no, bro, like, think about this for 1 second, right? Who do you spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year? With who? Yourself? And he was like, 100%. Yeah. So I was like, bro, like, what is it that you don't know yourself like that well? If you've been with yourself all these years, bro, and you're like 40 years old. So you've been with yourself for 40 years. And bro, like, and you don't know yourself at that deep level. Yeah. But that's crazy. But it happens, bro. It happens a lot, more than what you think. And that's the reason what I feel like Nehal is trying to do this amazing thing with the guys. It's like, now it's our duty to make sure they understand, like, hey, you know what? Let me self-reflect. Let me spend some time with myself. Let me figure it out. So like, the more you know yourself, the more you're going to be able to connect with yourself. And the more you're going to be able to, like, bro, like, do great things in life. If you know your strengths, I gotta tell you, man, like, you can do whatever you want to do in life. And you're going to do it at a high level. Not only that, but you're going to be happy, or at least you're going to be content doing what you do because it's your strength. And usually the strength is your passion, is your gift, right? And we don't focus too much on the weaknesses. Like those things that you can work on, but man, your strengths, let's maximize them. But if you don't know your strengths, bro, like, how can we work? You know what I mean? That's pretty deep.
Yeah. Do you mind sharing what it was that you wrote for the 2022, what it was that you kind of written down? You don't share all of it, maybe just one or two of them.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, I don't mind at all. So one of the really good habits I picked up is my spiritual side and my religious side. I pray more than I've ever prayed. I've gotten tighter to the man upstairs, and that's something I'm really proud of. And I've had a good friend help me along with that journey, who's hopefully, I think he's watching. Because that's something, although I've always been a big believer, always have, because, man, thank God for everything. Because I would not be, because I know this. At any given moment, I could go to sleep on a win tonight and wake up on a loss tomorrow. I could have all this shit yanked away from me in a heartbeat. Yep. And that keeps me humble and that keeps me grounded, because I ain't shit compared to the man upstairs.
Yeah, right.
And I've known that forever. I didn't discover that this year. I've known that my whole life. So I've always operated that way. But saying it is one thing and practicing is a different thing. Right?
Facts.
So that's one thing I'm proud of. I've done much better with. One of the habits and things that I feel like I dropped the ball is, at a certain point, I think one of the things I love about what I do in our business is I get to connect with our people. That is what really makes me who I am, right? And it fills my heart. And at a certain point in the business, because we're expanding and my roles are, changing, and I got to go take on this next big task, or I got to go do this and that, it's pulled me away from that. But that's just an excuse at the end of the day. Our people have got us to where we are. It's our partners, it's our people, our team have done everything to get us to who we've become today. And I got so dialed in on the business and like making this move and that move, and we'll do this next. And I feel like personally, I dropped the ball when it came to connecting with our people. And I knew it, but I didn't really want to deal with it. And then I really made the change over the last 60, 70 days where I was like, yeah, but then you know what was the weirdest thing? I didn't even feel that great inside.
Because I wasn't connecting with my people. It was just the weirdest thing. And that was the affirmation that I needed, that this is where you belong. You need to be in front of your people. You need to be spending time with them. You need to be having good, honest, tough love conversations with them. You need to be helping them. This is what you're put here for.
Yeah.
And I don't think I did a great job with that. So I made that adjustment now. So going into 2023, we're going in full force, 100%. Because that's what's allowed us to become who we are to begin with.
Yep.
Along with everything else.
Yeah.
So
right.
yeah, that was a big one for me, man. That was a big one for me.
That's huge. That's huge.
Huge.
I like it. I like it a lot. Another thing that I you kind of wanted to touch on. Hopefully, we don't get canceled when we talk about this here.
Most likely.
Is you had mentioned that we have lost masculinity.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, a lot of things by that, man. So I recently was on a mental health podcast with, so I don't know if I told you guys last time or if we have even started it last time, but we have a mental health advocate on our team, and we pay for one session a month for every single team member to go and chat with her. And we've got, her name is Mitchie. And then we've also got Alexis Cavo and Cynthia Martin. We got a gang of like some super solid women, and I'm sure there's some guys on their team as well, but they're mental health advocates because a lot of what we're talking about is mindset, right? Yes. And if this is good, man, you are straight. You're good to go. You don't need anything else.
Right.
But conversely, if this ain't good, it's going to be rough.
Facts.
Like the mind can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven, right? And you need to make sure that thing is making a heaven of hell each and every single day. Because let's be real, this life's tough, man.
Tough.
Especially for men.
Yes.
It's hard for us out there. And I don't think men realize that because they don't take enough time to think about it. They feel it 100%. And I damn sure know most women don't understand that. And this is nothing to do against women because I want men to take accountability. But I also think that there's not too many people educating women on the shit that we go through, on what it means to be a protector, on what it means to be a provider, all that pressure. You have the pressure of other men because it's all competition, right? Yep. We're all trying to get the nicest cars, the nicest houses, the nicest women, the nicest whatever. So we can be, higher up on the hierarchy, right? That's something we all strive for, right? And then you think about all the men in the world that go unnoticed every single day, right? Maybe none of us have really experienced that issue, but there's a gazillion men out there that go unnoticed each and every single day, right? They go out, they shoot DMs each and every single day, no response, no reply, and then moments later they see that same girl posting a story. And no doubt women aren't obligated to respond, right. But that same dude later on goes out to the club and then he goes, shoots a shot, nothing, like to the point where he may be talking to a female and she's right here and she's just like looking off, not even paying attention. Yeah. So imagine what that does to your psyche. Yeah, it destroys you. Yeah. Imagine if you did that to a woman. It'd be game over. Yeah. Right. I mean, and again, I'm not comparing the two. That's not my point. My point is more men deal with this than anything else. And one of the points I made on that podcast is, as a woman, you can be extremely unattractive and all these other things, but some dude out there will come find you. 100%. And that's it is what it is.
Your DMs ain't empty.
Right? Yeah, it don't matter how you look.
Don't matter.
It don't, because there's some thirsty dude out there that's just ready to give it all away and all the rest of it. So
some dude is gonna slide.
Yeah. In them DMs. So it's gotten pretty crazy. So my point was, when we were like texting about it, was more like, as men, we're dropping the ball.
Okay.
We're not doing our part either. It's not a woman problem. We're not doing our part in being solid. Right. We're not being men of our word. We're not being protectors. We're not being providers. I know dudes, and I think these aren't my friends.
Yeah.
But I know of dudes talking about, hey, baby girl, let's go ahead and split rent.
What?
Like, gee, how are you going to earn her respect? Then you know what? And look, maybe you're in a financial situation that requires that, and that's okay.
Right.
Then you damn sure better split the other responsibilities in the house. You can't be the man of the house if you're not being the man of the house.
Yep.
Right. So we're dropping the ball there. And we're like, oh, it's all 50-50. Well, yeah, when you treat it that way, I think it's been this weird like effect that's happened. I think deep down, women are soft, gentle creatures, right? They are by nature. They're loyal creatures by nature as well, far more loyal than men are. Yeah, no doubt. Look, there's exceptions to every rule. I'm saying by nature.
No, yeah, I'm just
By
I'm
nature.
just-
Hey, but listen, I know a bunch that aren't. So
Right.
and I only know this because I was the dude that women would hit up back in the day to cheat with. So I know how every woman moves. I understand women at a
Sneaky
very
link Neil.
yeah. This is back in the
Sneaky
day.
link Neil.
I'm a-
Sneaky Link Kaiser.
The dog. The dog.
Hey, that's a Kaiser right there, man.
The Kaiser.
And probably like your Kaiser.
That was your Kaiser. Okay.
This guy was worse.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh no.
But so I have a very deep understanding of a woman when I've been on the other side and a dude drops her off on this side of the mall and she's like, I'm gonna go shopping and I'm waiting on the other side of the mall. I have a very deep understanding of how women think and how women move. And then no doubt, I've never seen though a situation where a man is absolutely positively handling his business, the protector, the provider of his word, says he's gonna do some shit. You best believe he's gonna follow through on some shit and just is a G about everything, handles his business in the bedroom, and his lady cheats. I've never seen it. There's something that's missing. He's got some sort of gambling issue. He's an alcoholic. He's not a good father. There's some shit that he's fucking up on. And that's what causes that to happen. Because by nature, that is not how women are as a whole. Are there exceptions? Obviously.
Right.
So something caused her to be that way. Right? And I feel like men need to take some more responsibility and we need to own up to some shit. And we need to start being some G's about how we move. And because these women are soft, gentle creatures, we're making them tough. We're making them rough by destroying them. And then we're mad when we meet this aggressive, masculine female and we're like,
She's upset
go
at
with
the
this
work.
attitude and shit. How do you think she got there, G?
Yep.
Something must have happened along the way for that to happen. She didn't just wake up angry one day. And again, I'm talking about majority because there are some women that are like that, 100%. That just
It is
mad
what it is.
for no reason. It shit happens. Just mad.
They just wake up, man.
But if you
For
catch
the most part.
yeah, but here's the thing. You know what I've seen? I've seen the same woman with how she treats one guy versus how she treats another guy. She's submissive with this guy. She's respectful. She's courteous. She's in her feminine form. She's sweet. She's kind. She's loving. Hugs, kisses, cuddles, baby this, baby that. And then she's with this other dude like, what you want, man? You're like night and day. Someone's handling some shit right and someone's not. That's
Right.
all I know. So, but we got to pay attention. What is this dude doing right that dude is not? And 9 times out of 10, that dude's on some bullshit.
Yeah.
And he does. I shouldn't say he deserves it,
Earned.
but he's earned.
He's earned.
What is
What's
happening.
happening to him?
Yeah, 100%. So that's where I feel like we as men, we got to get better, man. We do, and we need to take care of our women because if not, they're gonna turn into the more masculine energy, and then we're really gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
So we either stop it now or we let this shit carry on and then we have to deal with the bullshit.
Deal with it.
And I'm
I
not
don't
trying to
wanna
deal
deal
with
with
that
it.
bullshit
I
because
don't
when they come to me, listen, I got many options. I'm good. And they come to me with that. I'm good, baby girl. Thank you. I'm gonna keep it moving.
So what did he say? I'm good, love.
That's it.
Thank God I don't have to deal with that. Yeah, that's good. Man.
I'm
That's
good, love.
That's good.
So they're not dealing with the bullshit because, or they're not handling their bullshit because it all ties back to kind of like what we're saying, you know, how the show's going, how the book was. It all come back to the very first point that we discussed: self-reflecting,
Mm-hmm.
sitting down with themselves. You know that. So instead, they're beating up the chick because they're not beating themselves up and handling their own shit. Is that
Bro, look, there's a major accountability problem in this world. And it's not just in the male-female dynamic. It's in a business dynamic.
Yep.
It's in every relationship dynamic. Like, I'll give you an example, okay? I see it happen in our business. I've seen it happen in many other people's business. I've seen it in women that I've dated. The only way they know how to part ways is in a abrasive, negative, F you, I'm out, I'm gonna block you, this and that. There's no amicable, hey, I just don't think we hit it off, this and that, whatever. And we just move on. And this is men and women. And then I see the same thing in business. I've seen so many guys that I've known for, years or months or whatever, and everything was all good. And all you have to do is be like, hey, you know what? I understand it's not working out. I appreciate you. 2 weeks. Carry on. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
But you know how over 95% of people leave?
Ghost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get ghost.
It's because you don't even know how to deal with that. Because you don't even know how to deal with yourself.
Right.
Because you know what you do when you're dealing with yourself and you got issues, you run from yourself. So now you got a problem in front of you. You only
You
know
run.
one thing.
Run.
Bounce, run, I'm out.
run for us?
Yeah, run for it. that's the game. And that to me that's weak.
Yeah.
That's weak. You must be of strong principle. You must have a strong backbone. You must stand for some shit, man. Because what's the old saying? You stand for something, or if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Right.
It's cliche, but man, that shit's true.
There it is. 100%. Real quick, we're going to take a quick break. Again, this episode is brought to you by Blue Hammer Roofing. Here's a quick message from them. Again, we appreciate you locked in with us. Stay tuned. Again, that is Blue Hammer Roofing. Make sure you go to the website. Again, tell them one more time what the website is.
Yeah, absolutely. www.bluehammerroofing.com, and we do roofing and solar.
All right. And then how can they go to your page? What's your Instagram page?
Yeah, Kaiser Nehal, KaiserNehal.
All right. If you go to his page right now, do hashtag right now, you will receive a promo code for 10% off roofing and solar.
100%.
10%.
No,
off.
you're
No,
100% accurate about that.
No. Hey, let's get it right. It's 10%. It's not 100%. It's 10%. Yeah, we can't go in bankruptcy, man. Come on now.
Yeah, we just edit that out.
Yeah, so hashtag right now, and you'll receive 10% off roofing and solar. Again, have them come out, give you an estimate, give you a consultation of what needs to be repaired. Even if you think you just moved into the house, it still probably needs to be looked
Absolutely.
at, right?
Absolutely.
Or in North Texas, man. As many storms as we get, as much bad weather. We just had a
We just had
tornado.
one.
Yeah, I mean, it's all day. It's all day over here. So that's why we offer free inspections, just in case.
Yep.
And if you're good, we'll give you a good, clean bill of health. You sleep easy at night. Your home, your house, your children are protected. If not, we got you covered.
Yeah.
No worries.
So while you self-reflect, let's get your house reflected also.
Hey,
Let's go.
there we go.
Let's
Dang,
go.
Bro, you're quick with these, man. I know you're thinking
Let's
about that at
go.
the break, huh?
That's why I ran down and get that charge. All right, man.
I got this.
I wonder why it took so long.
I'm a tie rack around. Yeah,
I
we'll get
wonder
it.
why it took so long, man.
But before we were leaving, man, you were discussing everything, man. Dive in, again, what that truly means and the reason why we need to be like that, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna. We lost some of the people on here, and I want to just kind of dive a little bit back in. I think there is a serious accountability issue in this world, and I'm gonna talk about men because I'm not a woman, and I don't like speaking on something that I'm not, or I don't know, or etc. So I think there's a major accountability issue with men when it comes to a lot of things. Again, I told you that whole 50-50 thing. You pay half, I pay half. Then you know what? You're gonna get treated like half. That's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I didn't write the rules to this game. This is like from the dawn of time, like how we were founded, like in our most primal form, right? And we got to stay true to that because again, the final example I gave you, and we'll carry on, but it's like I've seen a woman how she treats one dude over here, dude A versus dude B. Dude B, she's submissive with, she's respectful with, she'll do whatever that dude asks for. She'll be the sweetest, kindest, most loving, like just feminine woman ever. And then she'll treat this other dude A, like, you know what? You're not really shit. And it makes you wonder why though. She's not just treating him different for no reason. There's a reason. Yeah. This dude's probably protecting, providing. He's a G. He's on his shit. He handles his business. He treats her like a woman. He allows her to be feminine. He does not request any masculine energy or traits from her. While dude A is probably bullshitting. And, he's just happy to be with a woman. So he treats her like shit because he thinks that's going to work. It ain't going to work. Not for too long.
Right.
And then I was like, hey, we got to split the bills. We got this and that going on. And, I'll be back. Don't follow through with his word. Like, that's not how this game works, man. There's got to be some fairness in there. There's got to be some level, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're dropping the ball there as men. And then again, we've got these very masculine energy women coming towards us. And then we wonder, like, why? How? And most of them didn't wake up that way, right? We created those monsters. And then I know for me personally, they come towards my way. I'm not going to deal with that shit. I got too many options. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to go on to the next one.
You said you got options.
Options.
A lot of options.
I said a lot of options.
A lot of
Like a lot. Kaiser, man. Kaiser.
The
I'm telling
dog.
you. Oh, the dog.
The dog.
We all got options is what I meant to say, right? Well,
right.
I mean, you guys married. You guys got zero options.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Options. Come home.
Yeah.
Zero options.
Yeah. Option is you better not be late.
Yeah. The option is what time did you say?
Yeah. And you better
Alright,
follow through. Yeah, you better follow through too. So
What are those?
yeah.
Options?
Instagram is out again.
those?
Instagram is out again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe it died, huh?
Yeah.
I think so.
Well,
All good.
you know.
All good.
Yeah, let's all
all
go
good.
Yeah. But you got options. Right. Yeah. So
Except for Instagram. Instagram's not an option right now.
yeah.
Shit, man. Yeah.
It's okay.
A lot of things I want to say, but I can't say. but-
Lots.
No, keep going. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. Keep going.
I gotta do more cardio if you want a longer one.
Look, here's the thing, man. If you're a G about how you move, you handle your business, and you're on it, and women see that, they know.
They attract. It's a pheromone.
Yeah, absolutely. They know when they see a real G, and they know when they see a real man, and something about it.
They know this bullshit.
A mile away.
Yeah.
Women are very intuitive. They just don't follow their intuition most of the time,
Yeah.
but they know it deep down.
That gut feeling.
Yeah.
That God
There you
feeling.
go. There you go.
They're not following that.
That's why they say that about moms, right? And moms are just essentially women now that they have children, right?
Mhm.
But there's just that female maternal instinct, whatever you want to call it. They know, but again, a lot of times they just choose not to follow it. But they know.
They know.
So we all got options that we will not exercise under any circumstance. But
You see how quiet it got, right? He said we all got quiet. Oh, and we all got options.
I wasn't muted. Were you muted? I wasn't muted.
yeah.
All the mics were hot.
But that we will not exercise though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that we got that off the table.
No, we handled that. No, you talked about like self-reflection and accountability and stuff like that. And as men, like some things that we need to do, we do need to self-reflect. Partially because that allows us. I think the word feelings is bad to men for some reason.
Yeah.
Feelings and how you feel and being able to express those. That's always been. If you grew up in, let's say, my era, like the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that, that's something that you weren't.
70s.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm from the 90s, bro.
okay. Well, you probably came on the back end of that, but we're not. I won't say allowed, but you weren't like. It wasn't something that was like a main priority to describe like how you feel and why you're feeling the way that you're feeling and stuff like that. And I think like nowadays, like now that I'm older, like I know that it's a lot more responsibility for yourself to do so, to make yourself like be aware of like what are your triggers, what makes you feel how you feel, and why do you feel the way that you feel, and that it's okay to feel how you feel. Like it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to, and those things are okay. And I went to therapy for that. So it took me, I definitely, sought mental health. I believe in mental health. I believe that, having someone to talk to get those things out, I believe that's very important. And as a man, it makes you feel better because you're talking to somebody who has no like bias or like
Right.
can run around and tell the other homie, and now all your homies is making fun of you because you all sad. Like I believe in like I'm a proponent for seeking counseling, seeing mental health, understanding the triggers that you have, and understanding that look, today is not the day. This is not a good day for me. I'm feeling this way and that way, and I need some time for myself so I can self-reflect and identify what why I'm feeling how I feel. So I'm glad that you guys have that mental health advocacy inside the company. And that you guys give your employees at least
huge.
one
I think
day,
every company should,
to speak with someone. I think that's huge.
That's
huge, and a lot more companies should do that. I feel like, if a lot more companies were doing that, then you probably would have a better retention rate.
I think so. What the wild stat I believe, I don't actually know. Besides my guys will come up and talk to me. I've actually heard from more of my men, the guys on our team have been seeking this than the women.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know for sure, and it's because we signed an NDA where she cannot disclose who, what, when, where, why. And that's totally fine. That's none of my business. But the guys will come up to me and be like, hey, man, appreciate it.
Yeah.
What, Mitch? Okay, got you, bro. Yeah, you're good. And you know what, man? Like, here's the thing. I come from a Middle Eastern background. He comes from a Latin background. We got black background. We got a mixture, right? We're the three worst when it comes to mental health and men. We're the absolute worst. Because I know how it came up. There is no such thing as feelings.
Mm-mm.
Shit's got to get done, and you need to handle it. You're sad.
Like
Yeah,
he's
get
something to
over
be
it.
sad about.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like, and the damn sure wasn't talking about it, because if you're talking about it, you're getting your ass whooped.
Right.
And there's no alternative. You know what I mean? So I 100% understand that. But the thing is this though, like, we all been through some shit, right?
Yeah.
We all been through some shit. And if you don't at some point like communicate that with another human being and you're able to be vulnerable and express yourself, at some point that shit's gonna catch up.
Right.
It will. And unfortunately, the way we've seen it catch up, it's the wildest stat in the world. 76% of suicides
Suicide.
are male.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 out of every 4, man.
3 out of every
That's
4.
8. That's almost 8 out of every 10 is men.
That's wild.
And there's got to be a lot of, again, there's a lot of pressure on us. There's a lot of things going on in our minds and a lot of things going on in our hearts that we're never able to discuss. And we just bury it.
It's a ticking time bomb.
It is.
Mhm.
And once that shit ticks, man, we're also some of the most passionate, aggressive, angry, like ready to unveil some shit, because we're also the strongest forces, right? We're the stronger of the physical forces, right? We're the stronger, you know, arguably the mental forces and all these other things. And it's like, imagine like all of that inside a man. And then one day he's like, F this shit. And sometimes, unfortunately, they end up hurting themselves. And
Yeah.
if they don't hurt themselves, man, they hurt a lot of other people along the way, sometimes physically, mentally, emotionally. And that's why you got a lot of hurt men hurting women, whether it's physically, mentally, whatever. Because what's that saying? Hurt people, hurt people, right?
Hurt people, hurt people.
But it's because we're not dealing with it, man. And I got a problem with that. And that's why, like, when he, on the break, he was like, man, you're really passionate about this shit. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Because I've seen what hurt people do, man. That shit ain't cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And it's like, but there's an outlet.
Right.
But when in your mind, in your whole life, you've been told, nah, that there ain't no outlet.
Nah.
Okay. It's gonna come out one way or another.
Mhm.
And when by the time it does, it's too late.
Right.
It's too late. Too many people have been harmed along the way.
Right.
And we need to change that, man.
You said it's an outlet. We actually did an episode.
Yeah. What's your outlet?
It was called "What's Your Outlet."
Mm.
What's your outlet?
So make sure if you go back and watch that episode.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
your
for
outlet? Because it talks about exactly what it is that we're discussing right now.
Damn.
You know, and not going. That's not a coincidence.
Not a
It's
coincidence.
not a coincidence. Again,
No, sir.
you know. So make sure you go back and watch that episode because it talks about that. Making sure that because it's hard for us to communicate.
Right.
That's the key. Like if you don't communicate, it's going to detonate.
You
And
know
that-
what's crazy, man? You gotta break those chains, right? It's a couple of guys that they've been struggling a lot in the company, and for sure, I'm not gonna mention names. Especially one man, like his background, it's just crazy. So he's kind of like a third generation of a macho family, right? So this dude, man, is like as tough as he gets, bro. It took me months to finally be able to like push these guys so they can go and like take care of that. And I told him, bro, like you gotta break those chains. Because you're trapped and you're feeling like, no, man, like that's not the way I was. That's not the way my dad was or my grandpa. Like, I was like, man, like, who cares? Do it for your family, man. You have kids now. You have a wife. Like, do it for them and break those chains, bro. Like, be the first generation that is going to be able to, like, seek help and your kids are going to follow.
Yeah, break the
Bro,
chain.
he
and be
started
the
doing
change.
it.
Yeah.
He started doing it and I've seen, like, a massive change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see that, bro.
Yeah. Breaking the
Awesome.
change brings change.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what
I
that's
love
what
that.
I've always heard.
I love
You know,
that.
breaking
I'm
the
going to take
chain
that one.
brings change.
I love
You
it.
know?
I love it.
That's beautiful.
I mean, that's what it's about. You know, you try to mirror the things that you saw growing up because that's what you knew.
Yep.
But sometimes it's best doing the new things because a lot of times the best part of you, the best you, is when you get uncomfortable,
Yep.
Mhm.
right? Getting out of that comfortability zone, and that becomes the best you. The best version of you is
Let's
when you get
go.
uncomfortable.
Let's go, bro. Yeah, through adversity, that's
Yeah.
when you build character, bro.
Mm.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
You have to go through adversity to like see who you really are, like deep inside. That's character being built through adversity. I actually had a post on Facebook about that, man. Like that's super deep.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Gazillion percent. You know, here's the final thought on just all of that. That's what we're here for. I think it's our absolute duty, like in this world, to share and carry that message on because there's a lot of men who don't maybe have the courage or maybe don't know how or where to go. And I feel like it's up to men like us to be able to educate them and be like, look, nah, you can be a G about how you move, but it's also okay if you're going through some shit to like talk to someone. Because if you're telling me, man, like the alternative is you're gonna hurt yourself. Come on, bro. Like, call me.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna hurt somebody else. Call me. Call one of us. Like, get a hold of somebody. Like that to me is just not an okay alternative option. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I do believe when we were talking about purpose earlier, I do believe we were put here for a reason.
Yep.
And you guys were given these microphones for a reason. And you guys gave us the opportunity to have these microphones as well. And it's for us to be able to talk about shit like this, along with everything else we discussed, to be able to share with the other men in this world who may not have a voice, who go unnoticed, to be like, yo, you ain't alone, man.
Right.
Yeah, we've been through some shit too.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we had to find our way out of it. And so can you.
Yeah. And a lot of times, if you do talk with somebody, you'll find out that person has been through almost the exact same thing that you're going through.
Beautiful.
Isn't it the same? You know what's wild about what you just said right there? If you really study, like, we all came from different backgrounds,
Right.
different countries, maybe, just the whole works. We've all been through a similar situation of some variation of what I'm going to say next, right? We grew up, dated some girl, we're with some female, she cheated on us, maybe with the dude who had a little bit more, left us, broke our heart. Then we got angry. Then we started taking it out on women, and then maybe resorted to drugs or alcohol. So then we took this deep down toll, right? And then we came back up, adversity, lost it all, lost some money, gained some money, got a fight with our best friend. Does any of that sound familiar to you guys?
Yeah.
A lot of it.
It sounds
How?
that sound like the blueprint of life, really. It really sound like.
And we all come from different walks of life.
Yeah.
And I just shared my story. And I just shared all of our stories.
Yeah.
So every man goes through the same shit, more or less. Right? And if that's the case, that means we must most likely experience some very similar feelings.
Right.
Right? Some may feel it a little bit more than others, but we're all going through it.
Right.
And if a lot of guys can figure it out and get out of it, then again, and we're those 4 that can, and amongst many others, then it's our duty at our core to help other men also figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
Because we know what they're feeling. Why? I just said it. We all went through the same shit. Didn't even know that was your guys' background.
Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful.
So there's a path there. There's those signs there, and there's those, we pay attention and we can help someone out, man.
Oh, yeah. That's huge. Especially for it to be, like your final thought, man. I feel like things are just now cooking. Right. I feel like it's just now getting hot again.
You're gonna tell them damn stories, man.
We're definitely gonna have to sit down and do this again.
Yeah.
Let's try not to make it wait so long.
Yeah.
A year from now. I love to. You guys don't have to come to us. We can come to you guys.
Beautiful.
As well. I appreciate you guys again sitting down with us, man. For real, I really do appreciate the stories, appreciate the knowledge. And everything, man. I really do appreciate you guys coming out here, man.
To me, this is an honor. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the invite. Man, it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
And let's keep on changing people's lives, man. You don't know how many people are listening right now and they're feeling like, man, like that right there is what I need to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a coincidence you heard this today.
Yep.
If you're listening, it wasn't a coincidence right now that you're listening.
Right.
Amen. Thank you guys, man.
No,
we appreciate it. Yeah, we're running back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're running it
Thank
back.
you guys. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
for
you,
sure.
guys.
For sure. Again, we appreciate you guys. Again, this is Right Now with J Rock and KJ. We appreciate it.
Rock right now. I wanna rock right. I wanna rock right now. I wanna rock right. I wanna rock right now. Baby, right now. Hey, I wanna rock right. I wanna rock right now.